Are you tired of constantly falling into market traps, missing key reversals, and not knowing why smart money keeps winning? What if I told you there's a strategy that could turn those failed trades into winning opportunities? Today, I'm going to unveil the powerful secret behind the breaker block, one of the most underrated strategies used by professionals to maximize their profits. And here's the best part, it's simpler than you think. We'll dive into how to identify winning breaker blocks in the market, the psychology behind breaker blocks and why they form, order blocks versus breaker blocks, what you need to know, spotting liquidity sweeps before they happen, understanding market structure shifts like a pro, how to consistently find high-quality breaker block setups that lead to massive profits. If you're ready to finally stop guessing and start trading with confidence, then stay tuned. This is the game-changing strategy you've been waiting for. A breaker block is essentially a failed order block that is typically found after a liquidity sweep or a market structure shift. When the price fails to respect an order block that was expected to hold, that level turns into what we call a breaker block. But before we get too deep into breaker blocks, let's first take a step back and talk about order blocks. This will help set a foundation and make it easier to understand how and why breaker blocks form. Order blocks are critical zones in the market where large institutional traders, also known as smart money, place their buy or sell orders. These zones represent significant supply and demand levels that have already been rejected by the market, making them highly relevant for future price action. When the price returns to an order block, there's a strong chance that the market will react again, offering potential trading opportunities. However, not every supply or demand zone qualifies as an order block. Knowing how to distinguish valid order blocks from others is essential for improving your trading strategy. So what defines a valid order block? When institutional traders or large players enter the market with significant positions, they leave behind footprints in price movement. These areas are what we refer to as order blocks. But for an area to be classified as a valid order block, certain criteria need to be met, making it more reliable for future trades. Let's go over the key conditions that define a valid order block. Inefficiency. A valid order block often reflects an inefficient price move, where the market quickly moves in one direction, leaving behind a clear price imbalance. This usually happens because large institutional orders push the market sharply, creating gaps or unfilled areas in the price action. This imbalance signals that smart money is involved, and the market will likely return to that area to rebalance the price. The second key condition. Liquidity collection. Order blocks are characterized by their ability to collect liquidity. This happens when the market manipulates price, triggering stop losses or pending orders placed by retail traders. Smart money often uses these liquidity grabs to fuel their positions before moving the price in the opposite direction. Break in market structure. Finally, the most crucial criterion for a valid order block is that it must cause a break in market structure. This is what distinguishes a regular supply or demand zone from a true order block. In a bullish market, when the price breaks above a significant previous high, the area where the price originated becomes an important demand zone, known as a bullish order block. Conversely, in a bearish market, when the price breaks below a key low, the area of supply that caused this breakdown becomes a bearish order block. So, now that you have a clearer understanding of what an order block is, and how to spot one on your chart, let's discuss what happens when things don't go as planned. No strategy is foolproof, and that includes smart money concepts. Sometimes you might find an order block, set up your limit entry at the zone, place your stop loss below it, and aim for the next level, only to watch the market break through the order block, hit your stop loss, and continue moving in the opposite direction. Why does this happen? There are a few possible reasons why the market might ignore an order block. A shift in market structure. The market being overbought or oversold. The release of major economic news or other fundamental factors. When an order block fails, it essentially means that the level didn't hold, and the market broke through it. But here's the important part. When an order block breaks, it often transforms into a breaker block. The market treats this breaker block as a new opportunity. So when the price revisits this zone, it gives you another chance to enter the market, this time in the opposite direction. Let's take a deeper look at the psychology behind breaker blocks and understand why they work so well. The psychology behind breaker blocks lies in trapping traders who entered at the original order block and exploiting their expectations. Imagine this. The market breaks a structure above the previous high, forming a valid order block. This offers traders an opportunity to go long, believing that the price will respect the demand zone. However, if the market shifts and breaks below the most recent low, the directional bias changes to bearish. The original demand level, the order block, becomes a supply level as the market breaks through the zone and turns it into a breaker block. Now, traders who went long at the original order block are trapped. These traders are waiting for the price to return to their break-even point so they can close their positions without taking a loss. When the price revisits the breaker block, it creates significant sell pressure as trapped traders exit their long positions, creating selling momentum. Meanwhile, banks and financial institutions consider the failed order block, now turned breaker block, as a reference point. When the market revisits this zone, they see it as an opportunity to enter their selling positions again. By doing so, they can double their wins and maximize their profits. This institutional activity adds significant momentum to the market, further reinforcing the strength of the breaker block as a key level. Now let's discuss how you can identify breaker blocks based on candlestick patterns. In a bullish scenario, a breaker block is the last selling candle before a sharp upward move that fails to reject the price. This candle typically breaks below or sweeps the liquidity of the lowest point of the previous candle. In a bearish scenario, the breaker block is the last bullish candle before a sharp downside move. These concepts apply across different time frames and on any price action-based chart. Now that we've covered candlestick patterns, let's go over the criteria and rules for identifying valid breaker blocks and using them in your trades. To successfully identify valid breaker blocks and use them to your advantage, you need to follow several rules and criteria. Clearing buy-side and sell-side liquidity. The first criterion is that the price must clear an area of buy-side or sell-side liquidity before forming a market structure shift. This ensures that liquidity is swept, creating a valid reversal point. Sharp price movement. In a bullish scenario, the price must form a higher high, and in a bearish scenario, it must form a lower low. This ensures that the move is significant and not just a minor fluctuation. This rule helps filter out single candle pumps or dumps before a market structure shift. Price reversal after liquidity sweep. Once liquidity is swept, the price must start to reverse, indicating a market structure shift. This is a crucial signal for the formation of a breaker block. Another important criterion is that the body of the candle must break the block. For a breaker block to be valid, the price must break and close below or above the block with the candle's body, not just the wick. A shadow or wick alone does not validate a breaker block. One-time use. Breaker blocks are considered valid for only one-time use. This means you should focus on the trading opportunity when the price first enters the breaker block. Once the block has been mitigated, it is no longer an area of interest for future trades. By applying these criteria and rules, you'll be able to confidently identify valid breaker blocks and execute high-probability trades. Now, let me share a chart example that gathers all the criteria for a valid breaker block. Initially, we have a swing high followed by a swing low. From here, we see a strong upward push that breaks and closes above the previous swing high. This forms a valid order block, signaling strong demand for long positions. After taking out the buy-side liquidity, the market suddenly reverses direction, confirming a higher high before starting to push downward. As the price continues to decline, it eventually breaks and closes below the low of the last bearish candle, marking a clear shift in market structure. At this point, the previous order block is now transformed into a bearish breaker block. Buyers who entered earlier have been stopped out due to this bearish shift, turning the previous area of demand into a new supply zone. We can now anticipate the price to reject from this breaker block upon retesting and continue its downward movement. As expected, the price moves upward, temporarily pausing within the breaker block area as it accumulates more buy orders. After this consolidation, the market gains momentum and resumes its downward trajectory. In this chart example, the market first moves downward, creating a swing low. After this, there's a short upward push, followed by another move downward. This second downward move creates a bearish order block, indicating that sellers entered the market and caused a rejection. The first criteria we look for is the liquidity sweep. In this case, the price moves slightly below the previous low, clearing out sell-side liquidity. This sweep takes out stop losses placed by retail traders who had long positions below the previous low. The liquidity grab is the initial sign that smart money may be looking to reverse the market direction. After the liquidity sweep, a sharp bullish movement follows. This strong upward move happens quickly, indicating a significant reversal in momentum. At this point, it's clear that the original selling pressure has been exhausted, and the market is now favoring the upside. The sharp movement confirms that the price has reversed and is now moving away from the bearish order block. What's critical here is that the bullish move closes above the previous bearish order block, signaling that the order block has failed to hold as resistance and has now flipped into a bullish breaker block. This flip from supply to demand is crucial for confirming the breaker block. Once the price breaks above the failed order block, forming a bullish breaker block, we need to wait for the market to retrace back to the breaker block for a potential entry. This is where patience comes into play. Allow the market to come back to test the breaker block level. In this case, the market retraces and tests the breaker block, revisiting the area that was previously a supply zone and is now acting as a demand zone. This test gives us the opportunity to look for an entry trigger. As the market approaches the breaker block, we look for confirmation of rejection from this zone. In this example, an inside bar forms as the price tests the breaker block, signaling that the market is accumulating and likely to move higher. Once the inside bar confirms the rejection from the breaker block, we place our entry at the close of the inside bar. Place your stop loss below the low of the breaker block, giving the trade enough room to account for any market fluctuations while protecting your capital. Set your take profit at the next significant resistance level. To ensure a favorable risk-to-reward ratio, aim for at least a 2-to-1 ratio. This means for every unit of risk, you aim to gain 2 units of reward. In this example, the market initially moves upward, forming a swing high. After that, the price makes a small retracement and then moves back up, forming an order block and taking out the liquidity above the previous swing high. This is known as a liquidity grab or liquidity sweep, where stop-loss orders placed by retail traders above the swing high are triggered, allowing smart money to take control. This liquidity sweep is the first indication that the market might be ready to reverse from the upward momentum. Immediately after the liquidity grab, the price shows a sharp downward movement, indicating that smart money has entered the market to drive the price lower. This is a clear reversal signal, as the strong bearish move indicates that the buying pressure has been exhausted and sellers are now in control. The key here is that this sharp move also closes below the previous bullish order block, confirming that the original support level has failed and is turning into a bearish breaker block. As the price continues to move downward, it breaks below a key low, confirming a market structure shift from bullish to bearish. This break of structure is crucial because it confirms that the bullish momentum is over, and the market is likely entering a downtrend. The area where the bearish breaker block forms is now acting as a supply zone where sellers are likely to enter the market upon a retest. Once the bearish breaker block is confirmed, we wait for the market to retrace back to this area. This retracement gives us the opportunity to enter a trade at a more favorable price point. In this case, the market moves back up to test the bearish breaker block. As it reaches this zone, we prepare for a potential entry based on rejection patterns. As the price tests the bearish breaker block, we look for a candlestick rejection pattern to confirm that the breaker block is valid and that the market will likely continue downward. In this example, a bearish tailed bar forms, indicating rejection of the breaker block. Once this bearish tailed bar forms, we place our sell entry at the close of the tailed bar. The stop loss is placed just above the breaker block, ensuring that we're protected in case the market decides to break back above the block. The target is set at the next significant support level, aiming for at least a 2-to-1 reward to risk ratio to make the trade worthwhile. Now that you're equipped with the breaker block strategy, it's time to apply what you've learned and start spotting those winning setups. Remember, the key is understanding market structure, liquidity sweeps, and how breaker blocks can give you an edge. If you found this video valuable, make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. And if you have any questions or insights, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.